Welcome. By the end of this video, you'll learn what a hybrid meeting is and when it's the best choice for you. In this video, you'll learn the 3 levels of hybrid. You'll gain insight to the one thing you must do for great hybrid. If you heard a hybrid and you think hybrid is bad, well then you just haven't seen it done well yet. And at the end, I'll share a story of hybrid that is so good that they charge the in-person audience and the virtual audience exactly the same. So what is a hybrid meeting anyways? Well, you have 2 key audiences. You have your in-person audience. They're in the room with you, sitting in chairs, watching you live. Then you have your virtual audience. They're on computers, watching you through cameras or through audio. And so a hybrid meeting is when both of those 2 are combined at the same time. You've probably seen hybrid meetings around maybe your work. You may have had somebody who was in person and somebody who's virtual. Maybe if you watch football, you've seen the Super Bowl, probably one of the biggest hybrid meetings as so many people are in person and so many more people are virtual. Those are all great examples of what a hybrid meeting is. So I like to define hybrid into 3 different levels. So level 1, 2, and 3. In level 1, you could just turn on a computer, turn on the audio or the camera, and broadcast whatever is happening live with no interaction to the virtual audience. That's sometimes what people have done to create hybrid. So a virtual person could attend, but they really couldn't interact that much. In level 2, at least one person from the in-person audience can talk to at least one person in the virtual audience, and vice versa. The real key here is to make sure that they have microphones and cameras around so that the virtual person can see and hear this in person. This is a way so that you can now have people talking with each other, whether they're attending in person or they're attending virtually. In level 3 hybrid is where every single person who is in person here can talk to every single person who's virtual here. Now you need more technical setup to do this, where the in-person group might need a microphone, for instance, for each person. You might even need a camera for each person to make sure that they're seen by the virtual audience. A great example of a level 3 meeting might be a board meeting, where there might be 10 people who are in person here, and there might be 10 people who are virtual. And every single person needs the ability to talk to be a valid board member and to contribute to the meeting. While it requires more technology, it means that every single person in the meeting can collaborate with each other. Now, this wouldn't work well for things, say, as conferences where you might have 100 or more people in person and you can't mic all of them individually. So again, it's reserved for key meetings such as a board meeting. So why would you have a hybrid meeting? Well, one great saying we have is that you can have the energy of the in-person audience matched with the reach of the virtual audience. In many places, a hybrid meeting can now have this energy that we may have missed in virtual only meetings of having in-person people, applause, cheering, performance, live music, other types of in-person elements that you can have in that type of meeting. So again, you can have the in-person people and the energy of them as well as the reach of the virtual people. And one great example that we have, a company was celebrating its 9th Founder Day, where the 4 founders actually started on Kickstarter. In this hybrid meeting, we were able to have 6 countries represented into this meeting. Over 300 people were watching in person, but another 400 were logging in from places such as Germany, India, China, and other countries. So that's a great example where it was cost prohibitive to fly all those people into one place. This is a place where a hybrid meeting could connect all these people together and do it for the budget that they had. Hey, if you think you know what a hybrid meeting is now, do us a favor and just hit the comment and let us know that it's much clearer to you now. Here's the #1 thing you must have in your hybrid, and that's clear audio. Much like this clear audio being broadcast to you, a hybrid must have great audio. So make sure that your in-person group has the right microphones so that people can clearly be heard. Great things to think about are wireless microphones so that people in the audience who can talk, virtual can't hear them if the microphone is only on the stage. You need somebody to bring them a microphone if they want to be heard into the virtual audience. The second part about clear audio is making sure that any virtual person talking has clear audio and could be presented loud enough so that people in the in-person audience can hear. By having clear audio, you'll make sure that the content of your hybrid meeting is well understood by everybody. You can even have the video go out for a period of time on a hybrid, but the meeting can still go on if the audio is still clear. But if the audio goes out, your meeting will come to a grinding halt. So focus on your audio for your hybrid. Now I'm going to share with you the insight on the second most important thing for your hybrid, and that's your video. That's right. What we like to say is give the best seat in the house to your virtual audience. We put all of our cameras in the middle center. We make sure that that camera here is at the eye level of the speakers who are going to be presenting during that day. By giving virtual the best seat in the house, they'll make sure that they feel like they're a part of the program, and they also can feel like they're sitting in the best seat in the house, even if they were in the in-person audience. What happens when you don't give the best seat in the house? Well, we've seen cameras placed to the side of the main speakers so that the main speakers never look like they're talking to the audience at all. We've also had shaky cameras. So we had a shaky camera that was in the back that shook every time the in-person audience walked near the camera because the floors were made of wood. So that camera to the virtual audience looked like an earthquake all the time. And one other example that we had was a camera that was too high. It was always looking down. And so again, the speaker never looked like they were speaking to the virtual audience. Also, this camera couldn't be moved. And so this was the only view that was available to the virtual audience. In this program, it was better off than when they only showed the slides and didn't even show the speaker. But again, I feel like you're missing out on a key part if you can't see the speaker who's presenting to you. And the last tip that I have for you is that hybrid can increase your audience. It can increase your audience by 25, 50, 100% or more. All of these people who wouldn't normally have access to your program can now get there as long as they have a computer. And of course, over the pandemic, everybody now is used to virtual meetings. It's become even easier to get a larger audience to come to your program both virtually and in person. In this example, many of the attendees got stuck at airports that had canceled flights. But as opposed to them missing out entirely on day one, many of them logged in on either their computers or their phones from the airport because it was running hybrid, and they were able to get all of the content from day one and feel like a full participant even though the logistics wouldn't let them get there. Let me share an example of when hybrid is so good that the organizers can charge the same for the in-person audience as well as the virtual audience. The Georgia Healthcare Association runs their hybrid right. They have a great technical team. They look for great camera angles. They make sure everyone has a mic. They hire a virtual MC. And what's really key about their conference is continuing education credits, that these people need these credits to maintain their accreditation and keep their jobs. So it's a must that they have this. By creating a great hybrid experience, this organization charges exactly the same for virtual and in person, and looks at the savings that the virtual people get, that they don't have to travel and they don't have to buy the hotel, and that they actually can work. This is a healthcare association, so many of them are short-staffed. They can get their continuing education credits and still get some work during the day because they didn't have to go to the hotel to attend this conference. So this was a great example of a hybrid that can charge exactly the same by giving more value by delivering it both in person and virtually. If this video has been helpful and you want to take your hybrids further, then I've got a gift for you. Normally I have a masterclass where people pay up to $100 or more, but I'm going to give this to you for free. When you attend the 6 steps to better engaging hybrid meetings, you're going to find ways to make your hybrid more valuable, more engaging, and maybe you too can charge exactly the same or increase your audience. Make sure and click the link below in the description so that you can figure out how to get more engaging hybrids.